So about table talking class, I would like to ask you that what is the most unique thing about table talking?
Well, what's unique and what's different is that throughout the session, when when we have touch existing between the practitioner and the client, uh, that touch is one form of communication that goes on. As I said before, in most cases in the beginning in bodywork, the clients would go to sleep. You work on them, they just go to sleep, and then when the session's over, they pay you and they go home, and then they come back next week for another session. What's unique about this is that during the session, there are various ways for the client and the practitioner to interact with one another. So, first of all, the client has the ability to feel right into the part of the body that you're working on. It may be a part where they have pain. It may be a part where they've had some injury they're trying to recover from. It may be a part where they have numbness, where they have no feeling at all. What happens is that the client is able to feel the contact of your hands. And when they feel the contact of your hands, they can actually go into that part of the body. They can breathe into your hands in that part of the body, like in yoga. They can actually go even further and interact directly with your hands by touching your hands from inside their body. And when this happens, you, as a practitioner, can communicate verbally what you're feeling coming from the client. And that starts another kind of interaction between the client and the practitioner, and that is the client can tell the practitioner directly what they're feeling right there underneath your hands. So what's unique is this interactive exchange between the practitioner and the client. They then are working as a team. That's very, very different than the way that body workers were trained.
So it seems that both are just equal as team member to create the session together.
Right.
And in your work, the words have the role to play.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And what I have some kind of impression from what you're teaching is you don't lead the client. You rather let the client talk what she or he feels
Mm-hmm.
inside of the body, and then you use that some specific words to have a client go into that experience.
Yes. The piece that is missing so far is that I went to 3 years of graduate school, and basically, in order to develop tools of verbal interaction that were uh, developed as an equal exchange between the practitioner and the client. So many, many times I will echo the client's words back to the client so that the client knows, first of all, that I'm listening to them, and secondly, that the client can modify their words according to what they're feeling right now. Because, as we all know, our bodies are, as we're being uh, experienced of being listened to and so on and so forth, our bodies are changing.
Mm-hmm.
So you're right. It is the client's words become a kind of a self-authoring of the experience that they're having.
Mm-hmm.
And by listening and mirroring back those words to the client, um, I'm giving the client, or those of us who are using this method, we're giving the client the experience of being supported. and what they're learning from their body.
And my impression is there's no script or protocol about the session, right?
Correct.
So everything is led by presence. Everything
right.
is led by in the moment experience of the client.
Yes, yes. So one of the things that all caregivers know, it doesn't matter if they're medical or psychological or body touch therapists and so on. One thing that we all know is when the client first comes to us, especially the first session, they come with a story about why they're coming to see us. Okay, that story is related to things that have happened in their life, that have happened in their body, and so on. One of the things that's unique about this approach is after they've told us the story and we're ready to start working together, we ask the client, what are you feeling right now in your body? And most clients, especially in their first session, most clients kind of go, what? Because what they're used to doing is telling a story. That's why I'm here. The doctor gave me a prescription and, I had some hurts and some pains, and so I'm here for that reason. It's very, very different when you say, what are you feeling now in your body? Because then they go inside. Oh, what am I feeling in my body? And there's a pause. Usually there's sometimes quite a lengthy pause because they're not used to feeling in their body in that way. So basically, that starts the exchange between two equal partners in terms of what is happening in the session. I'm a trained body worker, and so I know certain things about the body from my experience and from my training and so on and so forth. The client they're coming for my services, but my services in using table talking involves them directly in the session, in the experience that happens in the session.
As the first person experience.
Correct. First person is their first person and my first person.
Mm-hmm.
And very often when they go home experiencing their body, maybe sometimes for the first time in their lives, experiencing what their body is telling them, as opposed to what their story that they've held onto in their minds is telling them. So this is a little bit about what's going on. There's various techniques involved in table talking, but what I'm trying to say in this introduction is that we're turning bodywork into something different. It's not psychotherapy, it's not medicine, it's not diagnosis and prognosis and prescriptions and so on and so forth. It's more about a mutual interaction between two people.